never slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Hello everybody, Harvey Talks Prison here. Today I'm going to be reacting to Adam Thompson's, one of his videos about bullies in prison. I always like reacting to his stuff. I've only done a couple. So let's see what he has to say.
Today's video is going to be about bullies in prison. And before I get into this video, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell on all so you get notified every time I drop a video, and you can jump on and watch it whenever you're ready, and comment, share, all that good stuff. Okay, now let's get into this video. Bullies in prison. Is there bullies in prison? Yes. There are bullies in prison, and normally, you know, you'll find the bully, you know what I mean, there's always at least one or two bullies, you know, in a wing.
In Missouri prisons, we didn't call them bullies, but that's basically what they are. They pick on the weak. And the new guys coming in and stuff. But we really wouldn't fight their fights for them, you know. They'd have to stand up for themselves. And if they did, we'd make sure nobody else got involved. It was just a one-on-one thing, you know. But we're not going to, if somebody's not going to stand up for themselves, we're not going to help them, you know. I mean, I don't understand it. You come to prison, you did a horrible crime, you know, got life without and you're scared. It doesn't make sense to me.
And usually, you know, the bully is the weakest person, you know what I mean? They're weak themselves, and you know, they go around picking on the weakest people in the wing, you know what I mean?
He's absolutely right. They a lot of them are all bark, you know, and they prey on the weak, and these new people, and these new people fall for all that, you know, all that talk and stuff. But you don't see them going around doing it to people they know is going to stand up to them.
I mean, and these guys, you know, the bullies I'm talking about, they're nobody. They're a nobody in prison. Nobody respects them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the guys, you know, the convicts like myself, we don't respect stuff like that. You know, like taking advantage of someone that's weaker than you. You know, that's a big no-no. You know what I mean? Yes, we are in prison. You know what I mean? And yes, people do get extorted. You know what I mean? And get stuff taken from them, you know, by these bullies, but these bullies always get dealt with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a little bit different than the way they do it over here, you know. But I do know a few times that somebody picking on the weaker people and somebody else coming along to that person and starts picking on them and telling them how you like it now, you know, how you like it being done to you, and making them pay that canteen or something.
Because there's, like I said, convicts in the wing, like myself, and usually the ones that will take care of it, take care of the bullies, are the ones that have got, you know, more respect on the wing, you know, and they've been there the longest, you know, and more or less.
Yeah, you know, when you first get to prison, you kind of have to prove yourself, you know, and but that's something you got, once you get established and everything, you got to keep that up, you know, because you always have people coming wanting to try you, you know, sooner or later. You know, like if you, somebody's going to try something sometime or another, you know, even after you've been there for a while. There'll usually be some young guy, you know, trying to make a name for himself off of an old head or something, and that usually ends bad for him.
It's that person's wing, okay? And what he'll do you know, he'll come over, you know, and like normally he'll deal with the bully. You know, he'll come over and deal with the bully himself, you know, he'll take the bully into the cell, you know, and he'll say something to him like, oh, you like picking on people, huh? You like picking on people that's weaker than you. You know what I mean? And then he'll slap him around and...
See, that's what I was just talking about, you know, going over there and saying, how do you like it, you know? I was just talking about that. That's kind of odd.
Cell, you know what I mean? And usually, you know, it's only a couple of times I've seen them, you know, use closed fists, you know what I mean, and bust them up with the closed fists. You know, normally, you know, they slap them around. Slap them.
Slapping somebody in prison, at least in American prisons, is the worst thing you could do. I would rather get punched than slapped.
Around with an open hand, because the reason why they do that is because they want to treat them like the bitch they are. You know what I mean? Because, look, yes, we are in prison, you know what I mean? And yes, it's a violent environment, you know what I mean? And it's full of predators, you know what I mean? It's full of predators in there, and you've always got someone, you know what I mean, that's you know, coming up with something, or, you know, plotting on someone, you know? Yeah, oh yeah, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to do this to this guy, I'm going to take this, I'm going to do this. You've always got that going on, you know, but, you know, it's and the bullies.
And another thing, if you're, he's right about this, but another thing, if you're selling with somebody who's like that, who's unique, and they may start out bullying him, but they may turn to you too because you're his seller. You know, it's like they say, birds of a feather flock together. You know, that's why you hang out with like-minded people in prison. You know, it's not to put other people down or anything. You know, but if you don't want to be associated with somebody, or then you don't hang around with them. It doesn't matter if they're a good person or not.
You know, I've seen it a few times in prison. This one time that I've seen a bully really get taken care of, you know, and this dude came in, right? Never been in prison before in his life, and you could see it was written all over his face that he was scared, you know what I mean? And why they put him in a maximum security bloody prison, let alone in that wing that they threw him in, you know, because, you know, there's all like armed robbers. I was in there for armed robbery. There's armed robbers, there's rapists, there's lifers. Here's this dude come in for simple check fraud, right? First offence, never been in.
Yeah, they do that in Missouri too. They'll put people in there that shouldn't be in adult maximum security prisons. I remember this one time, this guy come in. I'll make it real quick. And he was scared. I mean, like Adam was saying, you can see it written all over him. And so I get to talking to him. And I said, man, how much time you got? And he said, I got life without. Why are you scared? You got life without. You shouldn't be scared of anybody in this prison. You know, get you a piece of steel plexiglass, you know. That's what you do. You shouldn't be scared of anybody when you have that much time.
Before, you know, he decides to get mixed up with the wrong crowd, you know what I mean, and starts getting into, you know, writing dodgy checks and forging checks, right? And he ends up getting busted for that, and he goes to prison, right? And I think he got like, you know, 18 months to 2 years for his first offence, which is pretty bloody ridiculous. And he comes into the wing, and like I said, you can see it on his face, he was scared. He was shit scared, you know, and every time a newbie walks into the wing, all eyes are on you. You know what I mean? Everyone stops what they're doing, you know what I mean? And they turn and look at the new.
He's right. I remember when I first came to prison, it seemed like everybody was looking at me. And even when I went to the chow hall, the first time I went to the chow hall, everybody in the chow hall was looking at me. And, you know, they're just checking you out and see what you're going to do and everything, you know. And they'll keep watching you. You may not notice it later, but they're going to see how you react to certain things and stuff.
You know what I mean? And that can be intimidating. And if you are someone that, is not like myself, that's, used to the system and done a lot of time in prison, that sort of shit doesn't faze us, you know what I mean? Because we're used to it. But I knew you'd be like this.
He's right. Every time I get transferred, of course it didn't matter. Every time I got transferred, I always ended up in a prison where I knew people. But you see it, I get off the bus and I see these people looking at me and stuff. People that didn't know me, it didn't bother me. I knew they was just seeing who was getting off the bus.
This guy who was already scared, and then all of a sudden you've got 50 eyes on you, you know what I mean? Like, absolutely terrified, and his rectum would be going like that, you know what I mean? It's bloody absolutely terrifying to this dude, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, look at this dude, he's going to have a hard time, you know what I mean? And like he settles in, goes into his cell, settles in, a couple of days later, right, the bloody wing bully, because walks up to him, because this dude comes out, right, and it's to get his lunch, right, and this bully, he's walked straight up to him and gone, that's mine, and takes it, right, and this guy does nothing, you know what I mean, just stands there, let him take his food, and walks off, and we're there shaking our head, going, what the hell, because look, the way it works in prison, if you're not gonna help yourself, and stand up for yourself, right, what's the bloody point of us stepping in? You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why I was telling you earlier. We ain't gonna get involved unless we see you standing up for yourself. And this kid ain't doing that. He just let the guy take the tray. Yeah, Adam and these others can't get into that, or they shouldn't anyway. At least that's the way it is in Missouri.
Right? And risking us getting more time or whatever if this dude's not willing to do anything, right? And so we thought, we'll pull him aside and we'll school him. You know what I mean? We'll try and school him on prison, and we said to this dude, look, this is a prison, bro. This is a maximum security prison. You can't let people walk all over you. Just walk up and take your shit. You gotta stand up for yourself. He goes, I don't know how to fight. You know what I mean? And it takes a real...
It doesn't matter if you know how to fight or not. It's not, can you fight? It's if you'll fight. That's what it boils down to. Because I've told you, said this before in videos, I'm not the best with my hands.
Man to admit that. That he...
Where were we?
I fight. And we've all said to him, look, bro, that doesn't matter if you can't fight. Just freaking throw a punch, do something.
Right.
Just to give that dude a message that he's not going to be a victim. You know what I mean? Otherwise,
because bullies, they ain't going to keep wanting to go to the hole and stuff. If they see you put up a fight, after that they won't try it again.
It just keeps on happening. You know what I mean? And the exceptional circumstances, if it gets too much, you know what I mean? And like this dude was only in for check fraud. He wasn't a pewter guy. He wasn't in there for some bad charges. You know what I mean? And a lot of us older, the convicts and the older convicts and the ones that've been there for years, you know what I mean? They'll get tired of seeing that shit and they'll step in and do something like, this dude did on this occasion. And this bully, every single time, he goes up, takes his food, takes his coffee, you know what I mean? What little canteen that he got, he took it, you know what I mean? And there was a few times when I got very...
We never ate in the wing like he's talking about. We went over to chow hall, but if I'd been there and seen that guy doing that, I would have took his tray. It's the way it is, Dogs.
Very, very angry, and I went and grabbed my freaking Bethlehem, and I was going to go and freaking take care of this dude, right? And my silly stopped me. He goes, Tomo, no. He goes, you're in enough shit as it is, bro. You know what I mean? If you do this, you'll freaking go to the hole and you'll never...
Right, Adam. Don't do that, man. This dude ain't standing up for himself. not worth grabbing the steel of the plexiglass. You know, it's different if he stands up for himself.
Get out. You know? And I'm like, fuck, bro. You know, and so a day later, right, this is a day later, it happens again. And this dude that took care of it is a really, really, one of those real respected convicts, right? He's not inmate, he's a convict. And at that stage, he's already been down for 17 and a half years, 18 years, I'm sorry. And he was still on a 32-year sentence. Well respected, you know. He's a great dude, you know what I mean? If he liked you, and you know, you got along with him and you showed him respect, you know what I mean? He's a great dude. But if you get on the wrong side of him, when he had some deadly hands, not only did he have to worry about the deadly hands, but he had that Bethlehem. So this dude, this Dave, you know, he said working out, right? He's doing chin-ups. He's doing chin-ups on the bloody stairs. And he sees this bully walks over, right?
For those of you who don't know, convicts, you know, people in prison do this a lot. They'll get under the metal stairs and do pull-ups, you know, and different things. Sometimes they'll even jump up and grab the top tier, you know, the floor of it, pull themselves up and down.
And this time he backhands it. He backhanded this dude, and he took his freaking desserts off him. You know, and this night we got bloody these, you know, supposed bloody little cakes with, you know, freaking white icing on there. And he walks over, backhands him and takes it, and he does nothing, you know. And then, because where his cell was, right, he was downstairs, you know what I mean, and I was upstairs and over this side, right, of the landing. And I'm standing there with my cellmate and another dude, we're talking, we're saying, well, this happened, and he looks straight up at us, and we just shake our head, you know what I mean? It's just to say, dude, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? Do something, stand up for yourself. You know what I mean? And then, oh mate, I won't put his real name out there, but for the purpose of this video, I'll just call him T, okay? I'll just call him T. And T sees this and he stops doing his chin-ups. You know what I mean? And he walks straight into the cell of the bully, right? Closes the freaking door, and then all you can hear is this. Like, you know, the shoes, you know, they're fighting, you know, and then all of a sudden you can hear bang, bang, smash, smash. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden the door comes open, and this freaking bully, right, he's trying to crawl out. He's trying to crawl out of the cell. You can't see because he's got blood all over his face, right? He's trying to crawl out, and then freaking T grabs him right by the freaking shorts and drags him back in the cell, right? And he's into him again. And then all of a sudden, you know, this bully comes freaking flying out the cell. He threw him out the cell, you know what I mean? And then, like, as he threw him out the cell, you know, and T walked out there and said, you know, you've got an hour to pack your shit and get out of here. You know what I mean? And he was made to what they call in America check-in, but here.
Yeah, he went to PC, checked in. PC protective custody, Punk City.
So I called that, you know, it's protection, the boneyard, for, you know, we call it boneyard, you know, because what do dogs eat? Bones. You know what I mean? And protection's for the dogs, chomos, putrid people, you know, where this bully belongs. And that's where he went. He bailed into protection, you know. And look, there's a lot of guys in prison, right, that he's not going to tolerate, you know, a weaker dude, you know what I mean, getting taken advantage of, you know what I mean, and getting his shit taken all the time, or, you know what I mean, getting assaulted, and, you know what I mean, and because some people are just not built for fighting, you know what I mean, some people, you know, like this guy, I mean, he'll...
I'm not built for fighting, Adam, but I will if I have to. Jeez. I mean, sometimes it comes down you have to. You know? There's a lot of fights I got into in prison that Even the ones I won, you couldn't tell I won. It's true.
In the suburbs. He hasn't grown up in the streets like I did, and a lot of us, you know what I mean? He wasn't in the mix, you know what I mean? He wasn't about that life, you know what I mean? Like a lot of us, that, in prison because of that, because we were in the mix on the streets, you know what I mean? And it's not an environment, I mean, they shouldn't be there. I don't know why they put him, someone like that, first offence in there for checks. You know what I mean? Throws him in a maximum security prison. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Like me when I was 18 years old. Yeah, albeit I got done for armed robbery. I don't think I deserve to be thrown into the frickin', the killing fields, Goulburn. You know what I mean? When I was 18 years old, I don't think...
I know exactly what you're saying. I was 17. They threw me in Missouri State Penitentiary. It was the most violent adult maximum prison in Missouri at the time. I mean, and it was even worse before I got there, and I'm thinking, why they put me in here, but, I mean, it was a bad place. You had to be on your toes. You had to mind your P's and Q's. And there, people don't care what age you are, they don't care if you're, well, they had more respect for the older convicts, but they didn't care if you're 17, 18, coming in there, somebody's going to try you.
Well, I deserve that. I mean, damn. Should have put him back in the medium or a minimum security, at least the medium. And, bullies always get taken care of, you know what I mean? And it's always, you always find the dude that's got the loudest mouth is the weakest, you know what I mean?
All bark and no action, it's just, that's all they're doing. It's like a dog that just barks and doesn't bite.
And I guarantee you, every single time, you offer that loud mouth out, right, that bloody bully, you know what I mean, he'll back down. He'll back down and try and frickin', he'll try and worm his way out of it, or he'll get his mates. He'll get his mates and he'll come into the cell, you know what I mean, but
that happens in Missouri a lot too. Sometimes they'll go get their partners. If they see you standing up to them, or they think they can't handle you, they'll go get their partners.
He won't come in on his own, you know what I mean, because bullies are cowards, you know what I mean? Bullies are cowards, they can't fight themselves, and a lot of the time with these freaking bullies, they were bullied themselves at school, you know what I mean? They were bullied themselves at school, and then they've turned into a bully and, doing the same shit that happened to them,
We used to say that about some of the guards, the real bad guards that come in. Well, he's only like that because he got his lunch taken from him in school.
I mean, listen, one thing that, everyone minds their own business and does their own thing, right? But there are occasions where, you'll have a dude that's in that wing and he's not about that life, you know what I mean? He can't fight, he's too scared, you know what I mean, to throw a punch or whatever, you know what I mean? But there's always like convicts on the wing, you know what I mean, like myself that have, there's been other occasions when I've stepped in, you know what I mean, when I've stepped in and I've helped the dude out, you know what I mean, because, listen, we're already in prison, right? We're already in prison being punished for what we did, you know what I mean, and we're in there doing our time, and we should be able to do our time peacefully, and all the weaker ones should be able to do their time.
Yeah, I can't see, I've seen people say that they done 5 years, 6 years or so and never gotten into any trouble. I have trouble believing that. I think even if the guards write you up for nothing, and you go to a hole for no reason, gonna go to the hole sooner or later. You know, you're gonna get in trouble. It's not that. I don't know of one person that's done their whole bit and not gotten some type of trouble and went to the hole. And I'm trying to think of somebody who's never been in a fight in prison, and the only ones I can think of are ones that, like he's talking about, they go to PC or something. You know, they feel they can't make it. They go to PC, but see, the thing about PC in Missouri, you gotta give a name. You gotta tell them that you feel your life is in danger and give them a name. So you also become a snitch.
Right? Without worrying about people standing over them, people bullying them, forcing them, to bring drugs in or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's every single time. The loudest person in there, the freaking loudest freaking bully, and always in there running his mouth, and always the weakest. They always get dealt with, and they're not on the wing for very long.
Yeah, he's right about that. They usually ain't, and it's usually because they go up against somebody that they think is weak, and at least in Missouri, and it ends up dude's not. So they usually don't stay in the wing long. But he's talking about is the ones that talk the loudest, are the ones who are the weakest. That's pretty true. It's the quiet ones who are the dangerous ones. The ones you got to be careful of. They're usually cool people and laid back, but mess with them.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, with the bloody women bashers, pewter guys that go around raping women and, the ones with the bad charges, doing the pewter shit to kids, and they get taken care of, just like bullies do. It's not going to be tolerated, you know what I mean? And there's some wings in prison where you can get away with, blue murder, you know what I mean? There's a lot of pewter shit going on. A lot of people don't do nothing, they just stand there and watch someone get their shit taken or whatever, you know what I mean? But the wing that I was in, no, it's not tolerated. You know what I mean? If you want something, you ask for it. You know what I mean? That's the policy that we had. If you needed something or you wanted something, you know what I mean? Go and ask him. You know what I mean? Go and ask him. Just don't go and take the shit.
Oh, there's some people in Missouri prisons that they'll try to do cell robberies. I've only seen it in a few cases, but again, it's always on the weak people. People they know they can get away with. But I know they was trying to do that to one of my cells one time. I told them, I said, "You're not coming in my cell." And there was like 3 of them, and they said, "No, we'll leave your stuff alone. We just want his stuff." And I said, "As long as it's in my cell, you ain't touching his stuff." And they respected me on that, so they started getting his canteen when he came back from commissary before he got to the cell. But I had to move out of there because, actually I made him move out because he ended up telling on him.
Go in your cell and take your shit, you know what I mean? You go and ask the dude, and he'll give you a simple answer, yes or no, you know what I mean? And it's like, I was watching this video the other day of this dude who's from England. He was doing a video about bullying, talking about similar things, and I thought, yeah, it's a good video. I'll do a video about that. And bullies get taken care of. They get smashed, and they get smashed off the wing. We're not going to have people like that in the wing taking advantage of the weaker people. You know what I mean? Because, look, yeah, we're all in there, right? We're all in there. We're all locked in this freaking wing, and a lot of us have each other's backs, especially the ones like me, convicts has been in, done a lot of prison, you know what I mean? We respect each other, you know what I mean? We've got each other's back, you know what I mean? And if the shit bloody, hits the fan, we're there for each other to back each other up, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of times, like I said, prison is full of predators, you know what I mean? And you're going to have, those cowards in there that prey upon other people, just like they did on the outside, you know? They were preying on people in the free world, and now they're doing it in prison, preying on people, you know, preying on the weak, you know, but in prison, you know, and that shit's not going to be tolerated. You know what I mean? That shit will get stomped out quickly. It's just the way it is. I'm not too sure about now. I've been separated from prison for 10 years now, and I've got some lifers in there that I talk to, and I write to, they call me, whatever, and they said to me, they said, Tomo, you wouldn't recognise prison. It's changed heaps. You know what I mean? You've got these young louts, you know what I mean, running around thinking, you know, they're big, hard, tough dudes, you know what I mean, because they're doing a lousy year or 6 months.
Yeah, it's changed over here too. I have friends and stuff calling us at prison. I've only been out 7 years, and they say it's changed a lot, you know. But I saw changes when I was in there too, you know. The younger, and it's not just the people coming to prison, it's the staff, you know. I'd rather have old school correctional officers than these new guards. And to me, there's a difference between a correctional officer and a guard. But just like there is between convict and inmate. But give me the old school anytime. And these new people coming in.
Yeah. Look, what it comes down to in the end, make smart choices, right? Make smart choices, think, stop and think before you do something, okay? Now, you are in charge of your destiny, you are in charge of your future. And if you've got someone who says that they're like your brother, you know what I mean, and that they're looking out for you, and if they ask you to go and commit a crime with them, or, you know, telling you to get in there and rob this joint, they're not looking out for you. That's not the kind of brother you want. Because I guarantee you, you get busted, you go to prison, that so-called brother is not going to be anywhere to be seen.
Right.
He's not going to write to you. He's not going to, you know, he's not going to let you bring him up. Nothing. He's not going to put money on your books. Nothing. You know what I mean? Look, make smart choices. Worry about yourself. Stay away from drugs. You know what I mean? Even stay away from cigarettes and marijuana, because that's how it starts. Smoke cigarettes, then you go into marijuana, and it goes on from there. Someone offers you a cigarette, say no and walk away, okay? Now, prison is a putrid, dirty, boring, disgusting, violent place. It doesn't make you, it's not a badge of honor. Going to prison is not a badge of honor. It doesn't make you a badass.
It doesn't. I did 29 years. I'm not a badass. Prison is nothing to brag. What's the brag about being in prison? Tell me that. Somebody please tell me what's to brag about. What's to glorify. You know, when I first got out, some teenager found out I was in prison. Well, you was in prison? That's cool. Tell me what's cool about a kid, because I didn't think nothing about it was cool. And there isn't.
Doesn't make you a tough guy. You know what I mean? Listen, stay away from that shit, okay? Worry about you and worry about what's best for you. You know what I mean? And, you know, all the young ones especially, I can't emphasise this enough. Stay in school. Stay in school, get a great education, because that will set you up for life. You know what I mean? A great education goes a long way. You know, leave school, get a good job, you know, meet a good woman, get married, have kids. That's what makes you a badass. You're not going to prison using drugs. So just remember that, okay? Okay, guys, that's what I've got for you today. I'm going to be doing a live stream soon, and hopefully this will be up before then. And just remember, make smart choices, and also remember, I appreciate everyone that's subscribed to my channel, everyone that stuck through me, you know, stuck with me during the times when I was out on the streets, not uploading videos as frequently as I used to. I'm trying to get back to that. So thank you for just sticking with me, and thank you for having patience. It means the world to me.
So, I really like that message at the end that he did, and I hope people take heed to that. I am going to put a link to his video or his channel. You just saw the video. I'm going to put a link to his channel, maybe even this video in the description. And you guys haven't checked him out, go check him out. He's got good content. And I thank you for watching, and see you next time.